Howdy, hi, hello, and welcome on in for the long-awaited return of Cooking with Rambo. I know I said this the last time we made a cooking video, but you guys seem to love these so much that I don't know why I don't make them more than I currently do. Anyway, today we're going to be making some banana bread. I have some extra ripe bananas that just are getting a little bit too mushy for the people in the house to want to eat, so I may as well turn them into something delicious that they will want to eat. For this recipe, we're going to need a couple simple ingredients, including flour, which you saw me put down just now, as well as some baking soda. Sorry, I'm trying to say them as they come out. I don't know why. Your girl should have just edited out the inputs. We're going to also need the tiniest amount of salt, but here's the salt that I'm going to be using. And then you need some brown sugar to make it sweet. You could use regular sugar if you really wanted to, but just use brown sugar. It's fine. It's fine. Use the brown sugar. Although there is a little secret, a trick. If you don't have brown sugar, you can turn regular sugar into brown sugar. Feel free to look that up. You're also going to need butter, as most baking requires butter. And the measurements are on the side, which is always nice. So you don't even have to use a measuring cup, you just cut on the line where you need it. Thankfully for us, we just need one whole stick of butter. And then we're going to need some eggs. Thankfully, there are 2 eggs in this carton, and that is all we are going to need. Guess I gotta go grocery shopping. And then, of course, the most important part of this recipe, the mushy bananas. Now, these are by far not the worst bananas that I've made banana bread with, but they're just to the point that no one in the house wants to eat them, so gonna need these bananas to vamoose their way out of the house. Yeah, so turns out I don't actually have a banana bread pan or a bread pan in my apartment. It's on the list officially. But I do have muffin and cupcake pans. So we're gonna make banana bread cupcakes instead. That's what we're gonna do. A lot of them. Including maybe even some minis. You'll see. I end up pulling out more trays later. But you improvise, you do what you gotta do. We're just gonna have to watch the time a little bit differently for these because everything is different depending on what oven you have and whether you have more surface area cooking or less surface area cooking. And it's a fun time. Just watch the oven, guys. Watch the oven. And then, of course, we need a mixing bowl to put everything into. I grabbed 2. One for the wet ingredients that everything will eventually be put into, and one for the dry ingredients. And then you can either mix this by hand with a fork, or you can mix it using a mixer, which is what I'm going to do. I have a hand mixer, though. I don't want to have one of those fancy stand mixers. Maybe eventually. But not for now. Alright. Now I think we should have everything together, though, so we can actually start the recipe. Alright, let's get some of this stuff out of our way. That way we can start mixing things together. So the first 2 things that we really want to do here is we want to melt down the butter. That way it's easier to mix. So that's going to get put into one of these. I'm just trying to decide which bowl to use for what here. And then the other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the bananas and peel them and mush them. That way they're a little bit easier to mix into things as well. So I'm just plopping this butter down into my mixing bowl. Make sure your mixing bowl is microwave safe. Mine is, trust me, mine is. But make sure yours is, because I know some people who have used ones that are not. Do not put a metal bowl into the microwave. Don't do it. Don't do it. So just pop that into the microwave for like 15-20 seconds. It'll soften the butter up real nice for you. And while that's going for those couple of seconds, we can peel these bananas. Oh, I'm not peeling the bananas? I'm not peeling the bananas. Instead, I'm putting flour. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. Normally, I peel the bananas. And we're just gonna go ahead and measure it out. Nothing has to be an exact science, guys. Cooking can be an exact science, but it does not have to be. Something like making banana bread, you can deviate a little bit. You can use slightly less flour, slightly more flour. It's okay. You make mistakes. You're human. You experiment. It's fine. So because I used a half a cup measuring spoon, I had to do twice as many as I would have done using a full cup measuring spoon, but the half a cup measuring spoon fit better into the container. That's why I pointed that out. There's our melted butter. Alright, so now we've got the teaspoon measuring spoon, and we're going to go ahead and add our baking soda into our dry ingredients mixing bowl. And then we need a fourth a teaspoon for our salt. I told you it's the smallest amount of salt. It is not a lot. Should I be doing this right over top of the dry ingredients bowl? Probably not. Did I do it anyway? Yes, I did. Suck it up, Buttercup. My salt was sticking. Yeah, I gave up. I didn't want it to like all clump out. There you go. Salt. Now we're going to use the fourth a cup of measuring spoon, and we're going to get our brown sugar. Unfortunately, my spoon did not fit into my container though, so you have to improvise and be careful and do other measuring. So let's maybe not do it over top of the bowl. Sorry, you miss out on me measuring because I don't use the right things. Let's take a spoon of sugar. As you can tell, I'm not packing it down into this measuring spoon like I would normally do for brown sugar, or as my mom taught me you're supposed to do for brown sugar. So since I'm not packing it down into the spoon, I am leaving a little bit of a hump over top of it. Generally speaking, recipes will specify whether or not you need to use packed measuring or if you can use loose measuring. My recipe does not specify. Y'all have fun. Have fun. Do you. Okay, now I'm also going to go ahead and add the eggs into our wet ingredients bowl. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit irked that I still haven't gotten to the bananas at this point. Normally I get to the bananas at this point. What was I doing this day? So there's our 2 eggs. And now I'm gonna start mixing stuff. And then the banana will get added to the wet, and then the dry will get added to the wet, and then we'll have our essentially cake batter ready to go. And I'll just have to pour it into the cupcake tray. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the music while we watch me fail at making some banana bread. I didn't fail. I'm just making fun. It's okay. I'm allowed to kid around. And I'll catch you guys in a little while. Did you miss me? I'm back again. God, it took me forever to get to putting the bananas into that bowl, didn't it? Well, now we're here. We finally got our batter ready to go, and this is definitely not the most efficient way to do this. However, my mixing bowl, if you can see, does have a little spout on it, so I thought that this was going to be more efficient than it was. In all reality, I should have just used a little serving ladle spoon thingy-majiggy and put it in, but I don't actually have one of those. My parents do. I don't. Maybe I'll have to get one of those. So I just did my best. Oh, listen to the little crinkle of the wrapper. I just did my best to... try and pour it into the little cups without making a mess and while trying to keep it evenly distributed. It's okay if your distribution is ever so slightly off, but you don't want one that's like filled to the brim and one that's underfilled. One, because they're not going to cook at the same rate, but two, because one's going to overflow and expand and make a mess, while the other one is going to just sink to the bottom and be a little disc. So you want to keep them relatively mid-level when you're filling these cups up. Unless you really like a really high cupcake muffin bump, then I guess fill them up a little bit more. But I try to fill them midway. But I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill this pan of what's in this pan? Is this 24? I don't think it's 24. I think it's like 18, maybe 15. So we're gonna fill this pan up, and then it's 12. Rambo, why can't you number? It's a 12 cupcake pan, Rambo. So I'm gonna fill this up, and I'm gonna stick this in the oven, but then I'm gonna grab a mini muffin pan that I have, and we're gonna fill those up. Those I'm going to spray with baking spray, or cooking spray. I don't think I actually have baking spray in my apartment. They do the same thing. It's just nonstick spray to help prevent it from sticking to the pan. And then I'm going to fill it up with the batter, and then I'm going to realize that I still have more batter, so I'm going to pull out another cupcake tray and put some more cupcake liners into that and fill that up. And then they're all going to go into the oven. I put them all in at the same time. You don't have to put them all in at the same time. Just make sure that whatever way you do it, you're watching it to make sure that you're not burning them by accident. Here, I'm just tapping it out to get it a little bit more even and to be able to see if the distribution is off or not. I always hate when the cups crinkle up like that because they don't feel like they're filled quite the same, but there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. But I'm gonna let you guys keep listening to the music, and I'll tune back in right as we're getting ready to end. Enjoy! Guess who's back again, again. It's me, Rambo! Our cupcakes are done. Well, mostly. One set was a little overdone because it was the set I put in first, but the other two turned out fine. So let's go ahead and pull them out of the oven and let you see. So this is that first initial set that we did. They're not technically burnt, or honestly, they really weren't overdone. So I guess maybe the other ones were underdone. I don't know. They've got a nice little golden color to them. They've got a nice soft, squishy feel, and they're amazing when they're warm. So here, I don't have any toothpicks. I need to add it to my grocery list, so I'm just using a chopstick for eating Chinese food, and I'm stabbing it into some of the cupcakes so that I can make sure that it's fully cooked all the way. If they came up sticky and gooey, then I know that they're not done cooking all the way. But in this case, they didn't, so it's done! Yay! Here's the second batch of cupcakes that we stuck in. Notice how they're a lighter golden color, so these ones weren't in quite as long. So when you look at them side by side like this, the first batch does look incredibly darker and like maybe they were in a little bit too long, but I'm going to be honest with you, I probably should have left this little 6 count in longer. It's okay. They all turned out fabulous and everyone ate them, so it's fine. And then last but certainly not least, we've got my little muffin pan of mini bites. It's just like if you were to go to the store and buy some little bites, just they're homemade, which is even better. So I enjoyed them. They were gone pretty quickly. I use them for snacks in the morning. And you have it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have fun making your own banana bread. Mix it up if you want. Add some chocolate chips or some raisins or some walnuts in and have fun with it. Cooking is all about having fun and eating what you enjoy. You don't have to do something just because you're told to. Until next time, guys. Catch you on the flip side.